Hello and welcome to today's topic. We are going to talk about 4 ways that having a healthy relationship with food can really improve your whole life. For those of you who are new here, I'm Heather McConaughey. I'm a trained registered nurse turned online weight loss coach turned intuitive eating counselor. And I'm really passionate about empowering women to feel good in their bodies, minds, and spirit using food and really healing their relationship to body and food by ditching the scale and by mastering the 10 principles of intuitive eating. So what we're going to talk about today is 4 ways that your life can really improve through a healthier relationship with food. But first, we kind of got to back up and do some legwork on this topic. You know, when you are struggling in your relationship with body and food, at the core, you are struggling with body dissatisfaction. It's either chronic or it's acute. It's something that you've experienced your whole life or since you were a teenager, and or it's something that has happened more acutely to you. Maybe you're recovering from illness, surgery, a pregnancy, and so you are dealing with kind of an acute body dissatisfaction that is new to you, okay? So I like to say the outdated way of handling body dissatisfaction is trying to change your body. So this is a very normal thing for us to do. When we're dissatisfied with an area in our life, we try to actively change that thing. If you feel dissatisfied with your body, you might think the first thing I need to do is change my body. Okay? Do you relate to this? So what happens is you're constantly on the hunt for the next diet program, a sustainable way of eating, a fitness program, a bikini boot camp blast, right? You're on the search for something that's going to help you heal your body dissatisfaction, but you don't realize that what you need to do is heal the root. You need to heal the root of your chronic body dissatisfaction as opposed to chasing the thin ideal, okay? Does that make sense? Hit me with some hearts if this makes sense to you, okay? Maybe you've tried Whole30, you've tried keto, you've tried paleo, you've tried fasting, you've tried macros. That's what I taught for years. And it's something that definitely can get results, but then it's like, well, how sustainable is that long term? Maybe you've tried veganism, vegetarianism, low sugar, no sugar, South Beach diet. The list goes on and on. Maybe you're like, oh, it's my gut. I need to fix my gut health. All right. That's a very trendy thing now to focus on as the source of weight loss. Again, though, all these things are trying to solve the problem by trying to change your body for you, trying to make your body smaller, trying to shrink your body for you, as opposed to you going inside here, you going inside to your heart, to your core. What's going on inside you that has not been healed, that has you continue to have this chronic body dissatisfaction, okay? So this, trying to diet doesn't work. Noom, keto, paleo, counting calories, fasting, all those things, gut health protocols, which are kind of just a trendy way of saying we're going to restrict the foods that you can eat and call it a gut health protocol, but actually it's a secret diet to get you to lose weight, okay? Because we know that's what you want. We know you want to make your body smaller. We're going to call this diet a gut health protocol. It's still a diet, y'all. If it's having you modify your food and your exercise to make your body smaller, it's a diet. The way you know something is actually a gut health protocol versus a diet is the gut health protocol doesn't promise weight loss, okay? You could gain weight, you could lose weight. Weight loss is not a part of the gut health protocol. That's how you know it's not a diet, y'all, okay? So why this isn't working to pursue modifying your eating, it's against your nature. It's against your biological nature and need for food. It's also against your nature as a person, like the preferences you have for food, your taste buds, the lifestyle that you like to lead. For some people, it's really easy not to drink alcohol. I don't drink alcohol. So that creates a certain outcome with my body that other people may not have. But for them, drinking alcohol is important to them. Having 2 to 4 to 6 drinks a week is important to them. I've worked with women like this, and let me tell you, they want to have a body result, but then they also want to drink the alcohol, and they're like, why can't I have both? Well, because you have a natural preference to consume 2 to 6 drinks of alcohol a week. If you naturally change that preference, not to make your body smaller, but just because it becomes something that you don't value in life anymore, your body might change. But if you try to eliminate your natural preference in order to make your body smaller, you will eventually fail. And then you will be like, I can't find something sustainable. All right. So when you try to change yourself by changing things that are core to who you are, it becomes very unsustainable. Your body is going to settle at a place, a set point, your blueprint that matches both your genetic predisposition to have your body look a certain way, right? And your natural lifestyle preferences. If you want to change your lifestyle because you just want to change something, go for it. I walk a lot more now in my life than I used to in my 20s, all right? I also have more time. In my 20s, I had to commute all the time to my jobs. I lived in LA. I worked desk jobs. I didn't have hours to exercise every day. So we have to understand that the body that we have is a result of both our genetic blueprint and our natural lifestyle preferences, okay? So what should you be doing instead? You might be like, well, that's great, Heather, but I still have body dissatisfaction. I was chatting with somebody earlier this weekend about, how they were feeling in their body. And she was so profoundly insightful. She was like, I want this. I want to heal my relationship with body and food. I want to be an intuitive eater, but I'm still chasing the thin ideal. And she knew that about herself. She was like, I still want the privileges that I see that come with potentially being thin. I still want this world. And so it's actually very hard for her to be ready to make that change. And I get it because I was there too. I really resisted becoming an intuitive eater because I was scared of gaining weight. All right. And what I started to discover was something was off. Okay. Like something was wrong in Kansas. Something was not right, that I was so afraid of gaining weight that I was resistant to healing my relationship with body and food. See, being chronically dissatisfied with your body is a sign, I believe, that you are worshiping your body and your appearance to the exclusion of other things that are actually way more important to your deeper fulfillment in life, to your deeper satisfaction, to your deeper happiness, right? We all just want to be happy. I used to think that being thin would make me happy. And then I was at one of my lowest weights a few years ago, and I was very depressed. Like I was in severe depression for a couple of weeks. It was very bad. And I was at my thinnest weight. Thinness does not equal happiness, y'all. Okay. That is a cultural myth. And it's very easy to believe that you are going to achieve all these things that you want in your life once you change your body. If I heal my body dissatisfaction, I'll get the job I want. If I heal my body dissatisfaction, I'll have the relationship I want. If I heal my body dissatisfaction, my bank balance will go up, okay? Have you believed any of these things? I know I have, okay? You think that it's going to give you status, it's going to give you popularity, it's going to give you money. You also think it's going to give you health. This is the new deceit. Cloaking and packaging the pursuit of thinness under the pursuit of health. And as a nurse, I can tell you that I saw very thin people that were very unhealthy as an ER nurse, and people in much larger bodies that were also unhealthy, okay? So your body size does not equate to your health. But the cultural myth is that having a smaller body means you're healthier. Well, how do we define health? Are we talking just about physical health? Are we talking about mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, relational health? I can tell you this. I thought I was really healthy physically because, I thought I was just healthy in general because physically I was in a smaller body, low blood pressure, good blood work, all those things. But I was spiritually sick, right? I was relationally not healthy. I was worshiping at the idols of my body and appearance versus taking that time and investing it in my relationships and what I really wanted, okay? So I just need you to get that you're going to be dissatisfied in your life no matter how small your body is, because body dissatisfaction is like a mirror, or it's smoke and mirrors. Body dissatisfaction is smoke and mirrors for the larger dissatisfaction in your life, the things that you're actually really not happy about down deep. For me, this was my chronic dissatisfaction around not having a romantic partner. I was single, I was struggling to find a relationship, and I just felt really hopeless. And it was much easier to devote my time and energy to focus on my body and shrinking my body and perfecting my body and making my body smaller. Another thing to just remember is that a lot of our body dissatisfaction comes from trauma, either micro traumas or major trauma. I once had a guy that I was dating tell me that I would be really hot if I just lost the fat off of my thighs. Wow. Okay. Do you think that that's stuck in my head? Yes. It happened in my 20s when I didn't have the same self-concept. I didn't have the same self-confidence. I didn't have good boundaries. I didn't know how to communicate things well. So that micro trauma followed me. And I had in my head equated, and I'm a smart person. I feel like I'm self-aware, emotionally pretty aware, done a lot of work, and it still got to me, y'all. It still got me on my core. And I believed this lie that this person told me that, first of all, my appearance and my sexual appeal was dependent on the level of fat on my thighs, okay? And then the second thing he made me believe was that I needed to look a certain way to attract love and attention. So one of the biggest parts of my healing journey, which was scary, was letting go of the pursuit of my appearance and the worship of my appearance while I was single and 40, y'all, okay? I was like, here we go. Letting go of the thing that I think may be like one of my assets. And guess what? 4 months later, I met my soulmate. Okay, we've been together for almost 9 months. And I can't even tell you how reversed in my head the direction of things was. I thought I achieved this body result and I get access to the relationship I want. It was actually the reverse. It was actually let go of chasing this perfected body and you're going to get the relationship that you want. So, and I'm going to talk more about this as part of your healing journey. But I learned that what actually needed to happen was not for me to change my body anymore. Not for me to get rid of my cellulite, not for me to lose some weight, not for me to try to perfect my body anymore. I actually needed to heal myself at a deep level, okay? There's some questions that I'm going to ask you. You can write them down. You can take some notes, okay? And these are great questions to reflect on and journal on for yourself as part of the beginning of your healing journey. If you're not ready to give up pursuing the thin ideal, I get it, and that's okay. You need to go at the pace where you're comfortable at. Maybe you're like, Heather, I'm not ready to work with you now, but I might be ready in 9 months. That's okay. You might be like, I might not be ready to be an intuitive eater for 3 years. That's okay. Okay. You have to go at the pace that you're comfortable with. But these questions are going to be places where you can start to reflect. Okay. So jot these down if you're listening or watching live. 1, why are you disgusted by fatness? Okay. Why are you disgusted by fat people? If you are, okay. Or why are you maybe you're like, well, I'm not disgusted by other people, but I don't like the way it looks on my body. Why is that? Reflect on that, journal on that. Some of this is individual and some of it's cultural, right? I had a micro trauma against me around my body, which prompted it, but there's also the cultural obsession we have with thinness. So when you're asking yourself these questions, approach it both from the individual, reflect on your personal past, and then also ask yourself, how is the culture influencing you? 2, why are you afraid of fatness? Why are you afraid of being a bigger person yourself? 3, why do you worship thinness? How does worshiping thinness hurt you and others? Okay, when did you start relating to your body from a negative place? For me, it was around age 12, 13. I'm going to do another topic on this, but I think a lot of us women grieve the loss of our girl body and we resist our female body for a variety of reasons, both personal and cultural. And I think that a lot of dieting behavior starts in our early teen years as a way to reclaim or try to reclaim our girl body, okay? So when did this start? What events in your past shaped your viewpoints about the body? How is your unhealed relationship to body and food hurting others? This is a really important thing to think about. A lot of times we are oblivious to how our interaction with food and body impacts the people in our life, okay? So here's the thing, y'all. Only by doing the deep healing work will you actually be able to set yourself free from your chronic body dissatisfaction, from yo-yo dieting, trying different diets, searching for that holy grail sustainable diet, and only by and letting go of weight cycling, okay? If you want to stop doing those things, then you have to heal at a deep level, okay? When you do this work, amazing things will happen though, okay? Amazing things. I already told you how like I met my soulmate as one of the outcomes of doing intuitive eating. And I'm not saying that's going to happen for you. That's not like, I'm not going to be one of those people who just promises, yeah, if you intuitive eat, you'll meet your soulmate. I'm just saying that's what happened to me. And I'm going to explain why. So one, when you do this work, you will become a woman who's confident in any size body. Okay. If your body fluctuates, changes, you will learn how to still be confident and feel good in your skin. Wouldn't it be great if you could just feel good in your skin without obsessing about controlling this thing that actually you don't have that much control over? Have y'all noticed that? Have y'all noticed that your body like just tells you when you need to go to the bathroom, whether you want to or not? My body wakes me up at 3 a.m. It's like, it's time to go pee. Like, I don't really have control over this thing. Have you noticed that your heart just keeps beating whether you want it to or not? You don't have control over that, okay? Have you noticed how like if it's hot outside, you sweat and like you lose fluids? You don't have control over that. So I want you to get that there's a myth out there that's promoted by like the fitness industry that you have tremendous amount of control over your body. And you can do things for your body, but I will tell you this. I've trained very hard. I've eaten very clean. I've done all the things. And guess what? There were parts of my body that still didn't change. And that's very defeating. To invest all this time and energy, all this money, and still not see your body change. Your body is resistant to change. It wants to maintain homeostasis. This is a survival mechanism, okay? So you just need to understand that, like, is it worth it to invest all this time and energy trying to change something that, one, is already decaying, one, that's going to turn to dust and ash by the end of your life, all right? And it's actually something that you have way less control over than you think you do, okay? You're going to become a woman who practices healthy habits because you want to feel good, not because you're trying to change the size of your body. So guess what? As an intuitive eater, I don't sit around eating Doritos and, drinking tequila and Red Bull all day, okay? And if that's your thing, that's totally fine. I have my play foods, but like I actually still enjoy feeling really good and healthy in my body. I'm just now not caring like what size my body ends up settling at. I care about feeling good in my body. I want to prioritize nourishing my body, and I care about moving my body in ways that feel good, okay? But I don't obsess over the appearance or the size of my body. And look, it's a daily practice. I'm not saying it's always easy for me, y'all, to deprogram those thoughts, okay? So we're in it together. I'm not saying like it's a cakewalk. It's not, okay? But if cake's involved, I'm into it because I love cake. Okay, you're going to become a woman who moves her body because you just inherently enjoy the activities that you choose. You're going to become a woman who is free going out to eat, who can eat out anywhere with complete freedom. I was just talking to one of my clients today, and she was reflecting on how she ate out almost every single meal this past weekend, and she was so in touch with her body and her fullness that she felt so good eating out all weekend because she just ate until she was comfortably full. All right. What would that be like if you had complete freedom going out to eat all weekend long? You didn't have to count things. You didn't have to pick the healthy item. You didn't have to pick the salad or the chicken breast or the broccoli. You could pick what you liked, and you didn't overeat. You just felt content and good in your body. You will become a woman who's free of obsessive thoughts around food, a woman who's free of overeating and binge episodes, a woman who's free of food guilt. Y'all, I hear from you that you have so much food guilt. You think you would have killed somebody, okay? And thrown their body off a bridge. Like the amount of guilt that I hear women have around food. You will heal that though. You'll become a woman who enjoys food, who people pleases less. You'll become a woman who can voice your needs more easily. Did you know that intuitive eaters have one of the lowest rates of self-silencing behavior? A lot of us women self-silence. I know I have, right? I've had to really fight this tendency. I don't say what I really think. I don't say what I really want. I don't say what I really need. Okay? That's self-silencing. Dieting actually corresponds with higher degrees of self-silencing, because when you're dieting, you're silencing your body. Okay? That's going to translate into every area of your life. Okay? You become a woman who is being a good role model for your kids, for your family, for your friends, for your coworkers, for your neighbors. You become a woman who courageously goes after the things you want, because guess what? This journey takes courage. It takes courage to say, I'm not going to go the way of diet culture anymore. I'm not going to go the way of mainstream. I'm not going to be on another diet. I'm not going to talk diet with you. I'm not going to pursue that anymore. It takes courage. Well, guess what? When you develop courage in one area of your life, that spills over and has a ripple effect into every other area of your life. What would your life be like if you had more courage? Okay? So let's talk about these 4 core areas. I wanted to do all of that kind of background work first, so you could really understand what this journey takes and understand the positive ripple effect that it can have on your life, because it's so much more than food and body, y'all. And that's what I've discovered for myself, which is why I love it so much, because I'm like, oh my God, intuitive eating didn't just help me with food and body. It has helped every area of my life. Okay. Number 1, it will improve your relationship with your close romantic partner, your spouse, and or help you in dating, okay? Y'all, your partner wants you to feel confident and good as a woman in bed. No man wants to hear their woman complain about their body, pick their body apart, right? I've made a commitment to myself with my partner to never talk negatively about my body in front of him, ever, okay? I've made that promise to myself. That's not the type of woman I want to be. That's not the type of relationship that I want to be. Also, my body is not to be picked apart. My body is not to be criticized by others. It's also not to be criticized by me. My body is off limits to criticism, okay? And that comes both externally and internally. So when you do that, it really improves your relationship with your partner. How would that improve your sex life, right? If you weren't so critical of your body. How could that make things better for you to feel good in your body because you've healed body dissatisfaction? It's also going to improve going out to eat to restaurants. It's going to improve your communication. When you self-silence less because you stop silencing your body and now you're stop silencing yourself in your life, you will verbalize your needs and wants to your partner. I used to have a hard time actually saying what I wanted in relationships or what I needed. And now it's so different for me. I can actually say, I don't like that. I like that. I need that. I want that from you. I would like this. I desire this. Okay? I don't self-silence anymore. And that has made a huge difference in my relationship, because your partner wants to know what you need. He's not a mind reader. Okay? My partner, not a mind reader. Your partner, not a mind reader. Number 2, it sets a healthier tone for your relationship with your children and your family. You know, I worked with women for 5 years who were pursuing dieting through wanting to make their body smaller. A lot of them had kids. And I loved hearing stories like my kids eating more spinach, right? They're enjoying healthy foods, etc. But it's also important to understand that even if you don't think you're consciously teaching your children, your daughters, your sons dieting behavior, if you are pursuing dieting behavior, they are watching you. Children don't learn by what you tell them to do. They learn by your example. And they might not consciously learn dieting, but they're unconsciously observing your dieting behaviors. Getting on the scale, right? Focusing on making your body smaller. Eating certain foods, eating special foods, eating different foods than they eat, right? All of those things are impacting your children and your family. Do you want to pass down dieting to your daughter? Do you want to pass down dieting mindset and mentality to your children? Okay. So I can't guarantee that you pursuing intuitive eating will prevent your kids from pursuing dieting because of the culture that we live in that promotes it. And eventually they will be exposed to messages that you don't have control over. But I can tell you that you committing to no longer diet again right? That's one of the commitments in intuitive eating. I am no longer going to ever start a diet ever again, okay? When you do that, that sets a new tone in your family relationship. Okay, number 3, healing your relationship to body and food improves your creativity. Y'all, focusing on making your body smaller takes a huge amount of time and energy, right? Mental energy, physical energy, emotional energy. And you are a creative creature, right? You are made to be creative. You could take all that energy and devote it to so many other pursuits in life. Developing yourself spiritually, building your community, starting a side hustle, paying off debt, developing yourself in an athletic pursuit because you enjoy it, not because you're using it to make your body smaller, right? There's so many other things. Like, I'm taking a creative writing class this summer. I used to love to write. I used to take classes, and slowly that passion faded from me when I pursued dieting, okay? Because that took so much energy. So the energy that you're trying to spend on changing your body could be devoted to so many other things. And that is a very exciting prospect to think about what's possible for you creatively when you really give up dieting, okay? And lastly, improving your finances. Did you know that rejecting dieting could actually improve your finances? This is something that I didn't actually consciously think about, or I wasn't like, oh, I want to save money by quitting dieting. But through this journey, I have discovered wow, I can actually save a lot of money as an intuitive eater, right? Why? Well, you never have to spend a dime again on a diet program, a diet coach, any of that. You could still spend money at a gym because you love to move your body. I still spend $13.60 every month on my Peloton membership because I love to move my body and feel good. And so I try to move my body every single day with attunement. Sometimes that means stretching and laying on the couch all day. Sometimes moving my body looks like an hour walk and 45 minutes of weightlifting if I have a ton of energy, right? It looks different every single day. But you could save a lot of money by not investing in dieting, okay? Also food. So this is something that I didn't realize because I had, privilege in a sense to purchase whatever food I wanted, especially I didn't have a family, so I could kind of spend whatever I wanted on food. Well, one, a high protein diet is pretty expensive, especially now in our economy with food inflation. So when you're trying to eat a super high protein diet, that adds up super quickly. So now that I don't focus on so much protein, my food budget is less. Also, when you constantly feel this need to buy organic or buy, the latest healthy bread or buy, the sugar-free snacks or buy all these kind of specialty items, that adds up. The sugar-free chocolate chips that I was always obsessed with were $7 a bag. Buying regular chocolate chips is $3.50. Wow, that's a 50% savings in my food budget. That all adds up. So your food budget can tremendously decrease when you are intuitive eating, which is a really fun thing and an important thing in our economy, okay? So I hope today's convo was helpful. I would love to hear what your biggest takeaway was, so feel free to send me a message on Instagram at Heather McConaughey and let me know what was most useful to you from this chat today. And I really look forward to seeing you again and chatting more about this topic. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's podcast episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please rate and review the podcast. It helps me keep the podcast ad-free, and I really love to hear your feedback on the podcast and how it's helping you. So go ahead and rate the podcast and review it, and let me know what your biggest takeaway was. Send me a message on Instagram. If we're not friends on Instagram yet, please come over, give me a follow, say hello so I can get to know you. And I release new content pretty much every single day of the week except Sundays. That's my rest day, y'all. Thanks for tuning in, and I will talk to you again soon.